Good morning. My name is John Galbanis Henry. I am the youth and young adult minister here at Abiding Presence Lutheran Church. I want to thank you this morning for being here for evening prayer. I know we are in the midst of physical distancing. We're in the midst of trying to understand this phase 1 launch. We're trying to understand what we can do, what we can't do, what we should and shouldn't do. But I want to thank you for taking time to be here this morning and to worship and to be with us online as we continue to figure out this time and as we continue to remain an Abiding Presence family who's abiding in this together. And with that, I want to let you know that if you need anything from me, from anyone on the staff, please let us know. We are still here working with you and for you, and we want to know how we can be better services to you. So please let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything we can do. We would love to talk to you, and we'd love to be able to fulfill any needs we can. With that, let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to begin with the open dialogue. O Lord, let my soul rise up to meet you, as the day rises to meet the sun. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen. Come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us shout for joy for the rock of our salvation. In the light of the morning, we will sing for joy. Today's psalm is Psalm 30, verses 4 through 7. I will exalt you, O Lord, for you have drawn me up, and did not let my foes rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I cried to you for help, and you have healed me. O Lord, you brought up my soul from Sheol, restored me to life among those who gone down to the pit. Sing praises to the Lord, O you faithful ones, and give thanks to his holy name. For his anger is but for a moment, but his favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may linger for the night, but joy comes with the morning. As for me, I said in my prosperity, I shall never be moved. By your favor, O Lord. You have established me as a strong mountain. You hid your face, I was dismayed. To you, O Lord, I cried, and to the Lord I made supplication. What profit is there in my death, if I go down to the pit? Will the dust praise you? Will it tell you of your faithfulness? Hear, O Lord, and be gracious to me. O Lord, be my helper. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have taken off my sackcloth and joined me with joy, so that my soul may praise you and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever. In the light of the morning, we will sing for joy. Our next two readings are Numbers 11, 1 through 22, and Luke 4, 38 through 44. I'm going to start with the Luke reading because it's a little shorter, and then I'll do the Numbers reading. So this is Luke 4, 38 through 44. After leaving the synagogue, he entered Simon's house. Now Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, and they asked him about her. Then he stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. Immediately she got up and began to serve them. As the sun was setting, all those who had any or who were sick with various kinds of diseases brought them to him, and he laid his hands on each of them and cursed them. Demons also came out of many, shouting, "You are the Son of God." But he rebuked them and would not allow them to speak, because they knew that he was the Messiah. At daybreak he departed and went into a deserted place, and the crowds were looking for him, but when they reached him, they wanted to prevent him from leaving. But he said to them, I must proclaim the good news of the kingdom of God to the other cities also, for I was sent with this purpose. So he continued proclaiming the messages in the synagogues of Judea. And now for the Numbers reading, which says this. Now, when the people complained in the hearing of the Lord about their misfortunes, the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. Then the fire of the Lord burned against them and consumed some outlying parts of the camp. But the people cried out to Moses, and Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire abated. So that place was called Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burned against them. The rebel among them had a strong craving, and the Israelites also wept again, and said, "If only we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt for nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at." Now the manna was like the coriander seed, and its color was the color of gum resin. The people went around and gathered it, grounded it in mills or beat it in mortars, then boiled it in pots and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was like the taste of cakes baked with oil. When the dew fell in the camp in the night, the manna would fall with it. Moses heard the people weeping throughout their families, all at the entrances of their tents. Then the Lord became very angry, and Moses was displeased. So Moses said to the Lord, "Why have you treated your servant so badly? Why have you not found favor in your sight that you lay the burden of all this people on me? That I conceive all this people, that I give birth to them? They say that you should say to me, 'Carry them in your bosom as a nurse carries a sucking child, to the land that you promised an oath to their ancestors.' Where am I to get meat to give to all these people? For they come weeping to me and say, 'Give us meat to eat.' I am not able to carry all these people alone, for they are too heavy for me. If this is the way you are going to treat me, put me to death at once. I have found favor in your sight, and do not let me see misery." So the Lord said to Moses, "Gather for me 70 of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them. Bring them to the tent of meeting, and have them take their place there with you. I will come down and talk with you there, and I will take some of the Spirit that is on you and put it on them, and they shall bear the burden of the people along with you, so that you will not bear it all by yourself. And say to the people, 'Consecrate yourselves for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat. For you have wailed in the hearing of the Lord, saying, If only we had meat to eat, surely it was for the better of us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you meat, and you shall eat. You shall eat not only 1 day, or 2 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, or 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you, because you have rejected the Lord who is among you, and have wailed before him, saying, Why did we ever leave Egypt?' But Moses said, The people I am with number 600,000 on foot, and you say, I will give them meat, that they may eat for a whole month." That they will eat for a whole month? Are these enough flocks and herds to slaughter for them? Are there enough fish in the sea to catch for them? Is the Lord's power limited? And the Lord said to Moses, Is the Lord's power limited? Now you shall see whether my word will come true for you or not. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. As my cat walks all over my desk and in front of my camera, this reading really has me thinking both about the stress and the fear and the feeling of overwhelmingness that we sometimes feel when we feel a call from God. We see Moses naming this here, this idea that this might be too much for Moses, that he isn't sure why he's this person that was asked to do this. He isn't sure if he can do it even. And the response we see, I think, is a response we get a lot of times from God. It's the response of, okay, go and gather a group of people to work on this with you. Moses had been doing this basically on his own. And the Lord is saying, that's not good. Grab people who you can work with, grab people who you trust and that the other people trust, and continue doing this work because it's good work, and all you need is to not be relying on yourself. And I just think that this story from Numbers, although we may not be able to fully understand it or relate to it, I mean, I have never wanted meat so badly that I would be wailing for it. And I definitely have never been given the response of, okay, I have enough meat to feed 600,000 people for a month. So I don't understand it in that sense, but I do understand it in the sense that the Lord is saying, Moses, you just can't do this on your own. This is a task for a village of people to work with you to do. And that much I definitely feel is true. I think there are plenty of times where I am trying to take something on by myself because I'm so headstrong. And I have felt the Lord saying, no, John, you need people around you. You need your friends, you need your family, and you need a team to be completing this task. And so that's what I take away from this story that we read today in Numbers. And I hope we can all see that too. We're going to go ahead and move into our prayers. So if you would close your eyes and bow your head with me as we pray. Dear Lord, thank you so much for all of your servants and all of the people we can look to in the past who have heard your calling and have responded to it in such amazing ways. Lord, I pray that you give us the strength and courage to try and take on the task that Moses takes on, that we feel we are able to do tasks that are so big and bigger than us, the way that Moses did. Lord, I pray that you also give us the humility to ask for help when we need it. I pray that when we ask for help, that we feel your presence. Lord, right now I pray especially for all of our families, our families with kids, our families without kids, our families who are single people. Lord, these are trying times. These are times where we feel like we're at work constantly, or we feel like so much is being asked of us, and there's so much change, and there's so much instability. Lord, I pray that in this time you would show us the team of people that we need to be calling for help. I pray that you give us the humility to ask for that help. And I pray that we feel your presence. We feel that you are there with us, strengthening us to get through these times. It's in your name we pray, Lord. Amen. And now, join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Lord, you hear our prayers, whether they are full of thanksgiving or full of complaints. Your mercy is unending. Even in your disciple, you restrain yourselves in ways we cannot know. May our mumble words of gratitude and our fleeting praises find crevices where they can grow within your presence. Lord of light and morning, Amen. May the Lord of peace go with you, wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home, rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. Once again, may he bring you home, rejoicing once again into our doors. Everyone, I thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you for putting up with my cats who clearly do not know there's a camera they're walking in front of. I pray that you all have a good rest of your day, and we will see you back here at 8 p.m. tonight for evening prayer. Have a good rest of your day.